Ooh, gather around, children. We've got mature content. Mature filter off. Welcome back, everyone, to another random anime game. This is Cupid. That is very loud. Okay, this is Cupid. I don't know exactly what this is, but it had mature content, so I was just like, yes, I need to play this. Let's start. I love you. Ooh, I got an achievement, playing as an adult. I love you, I love you, I love you. There's no need to explain, it's only natural. A mother loves her daughter more than anything else in the world. Oh god, we're already getting started. He hates you, doesn't he? A whole lot of them despise you, don't they? Chasing you into the forest and gouging a hole into your leg. All because you smiled at their husbands. And you know what? You deserve it. You freak. You disgusting, horrible, filthy little girl. Didn't I tell you to stay away from them? You never listen. Serves you right for being the little... Oh, shit. Oh, turn off the maturity filter. That serves you right for being the little slut you are. But you don't have to worry, my darling. It's alright. Even if the whole world wishes you dead, I promise you this. I wish you were dead. Your mother will always be by your side. My goodness, child. Whatever has happened to you? A girl was slumped in the doorway, soaked by the rain. Her legs are covered in dirt and blood. She lifted her head upon hearing the priest's voice and stared at him with blank eyes. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. She hobbled forward, her bloodied leg giving way. Automatically, the priest rushed forward to steady her. Years of spiritual training had prepared him for the most unexpected guests to his church. He sprung into action. He ushered her to a pew, brought out some clean cloth and antiseptic, and began to bandage the wound on her leg. Yet throughout all of this, he found that he couldn't take his eyes off her. Red flag, I'm calling it, red flag, red flag, red flag, everybody, I'm calling it, red flag. He would be gazing at the roll of bandages in his hand, deciding how to tie them. And then out of nowhere, he would be staring into her eyes. Even with all the mud and grime smeared across her face, he couldn't deny that she was absolutely beautiful. How old was she? 20? 18? 16? Her face was so young. The priest had long since aged past his desire for the opposite sex. Is that possible? But somehow something about her enraptured him. When he realized his own thoughts, he quickly steered his mind toward other matters. My child, what has happened to you? She seemed to take all the time in the world before responding. He looked at me. He looked at me, and he touched me, and then he started to kiss me. At first the priest didn't understand, then he realized with a jolt of anger what she meant. It was happening more and more often nowadays. The young men of France these days were spirited, uncontrollable ruffians. A lady walking home by herself one night would be prey to a few number of them. Lust. One of the 7 deadly sins, the one that the priest personally despised the most. Furrowing his brow in sorrow, the priest laid a hand on her thigh. You are safe now, child. God's house is a sanctuary for the faithful. I don't think he'll protect me. He looked at her in confusion. You see, Father, I have sinned again. Oh, I got a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this one. Right there among the pews, before the altar of God, she bowed her head. I'm sorry. Was she apologizing to him, or to someone else? Her hair hid her face and her eyes, and the priest could make neither head nor tail of her. He suddenly realized that his hand was still on her thigh, and then he hurriedly drew it away. "I'm sorry," she repeated the phrase over and over. After a while, the priest got up. "Don't fret, child. You're not to blame. I will contact the local constable, but in the meantime, you are free to make yourself at home here. I'll fetch you a hot drink." He patted her on the head and left to go to the back room. She remained seated on the pew, her head bent forward. As the priest's footsteps faded away, the entire church fell into silence. Now that it was the dead of night, the clouds covered the sky. Barely a sliver of moonlight filtered through the stained glass. The girl sat alone in the ring of darkness. She opened her mouth. "No, I know. If I may say my piece, surely." Yes, mother. But he is so very kind." "Who am I?" "Oh, jam. Is this some Bates Motel shit?" That's cool if this is. What kind of mother do I want to be? Do I want to... you know, I'm gonna just do this one just because it makes me laugh. "Haven't you learned your lesson yet, idiot? You truly are an idiot. Haven't you learned your lesson? You're injured because of your own doing, and you dare tempt fate again." "I'm sorry, mother. I just thought it better to eat and sleep first before I left. Please don't be angry." "I only want you to be angry, start. I don't want what is best for your child. Do you believe that?" "Yes." "You saw the way that priest looked at you, didn't you? And still you insist on staying? Where is your head? So follow my words. That is final. Flee and never look back." "How am I going to mind you like this? You attract so much misfortune everywhere you go." "My poor child, my stupid little girl. Always a blight, aren't you? Whatever will you do without me?" Everything was her fist shook with a mixture of fear and conviction. She had to do. "Give me strength. There's something I wish to do." The girl rose from the pew. In front of her was the altar. On top of the altar was an ornately decorated cross. It was as wide as her head, and the tip of the cross had been crafted such so that... Oh, fuck. "Don't tell me. You're quite sure you're doing this?" The girl's arms trembled ever so slightly. She picked up the cross. Oh, slowly she brought the sharp end close to her face, so close that it hovered just above her. Oh, fuck. I'm covering my face. And then she... Okay, that wasn't so bad, actually.
2 hours later.
I think I said that wrong, but whatever. "Excuse me? Madam Charlotte of Markiplier? I don't remember sending you an invite. Same for you, Lady Annette of Rennes and Lady Claudette of Lyon, whatever. Most people I invited are huge patrons of music. That is why they are here today. They came to listen to Mademoiselle Catherine Louise Peride. She is the 7-year-old piano prodigy who played for the Queen last summer." The man pointed at the girl busy chewing her half of the bread. The Rose girl just stared at the unfolding situation. "Well, that's... I'm sure you were aware of that, were you not?" "No matter. I'm always happy to see you, ladies. It is my pleasure to have you here. But I hope you don't mind giving some of the food away to my townspeople. That's why I keep my gates open. My servers are instructed to serve anyone who passes by, not just my guests. But don't you fret, my darlings. There is plenty more to be served. I like this guy. This guy's cool. He reminds me of Dio." That's all I have to say. "Excuse me." The Marquise walked up to the two girls. The rose girl's heart beat so fast it made her head feel light and dizzy. She had never been this close to him. It made her feel a mixture of fear and elation. Lady Catherine, your father has been looking for you. It's almost time for your performance. Yeah, my apologies, sire. I didn't mean to cause a clatter. Guelmere chuckled. I think those ladies were right in saying that he did need a new name. I saw the whole thing, my chérie. You put those ladies in their place. They were being mean to her. Guelmere narrowed his eyes at the quiet girl. She hid behind her basket of roses. She couldn't look at him directly. He was like the sun. It hurt just to be in his presence. Yet there was relief in her heart as he stepped closer to her. I've seen you before, haven't I? The rose girl nodded and made a curtsy. I deliver roses to your house sometimes, sire. Yes, the girl with the sweetest face. The rose girl blushed. I love your roses, by the way. They stay fresh longer than they should. You've tended to them with love. Thank you, sire. Do you have a name, young lady? What's the matter? It's alright, young lady. If you would rather. Let's call her Rosa. Rosa, it fits her. I think she forgot her name or she lost. A valid point. You alright with that, Rosa? Yes. Come on, Rosa. You'll watch me play, right? Oh, Sir Gilly doesn't mind. Gilly? He's really nice to me and my family. And he helps the people around town too. He won't throw you out. I won't. See, come on, you're invited now. You're my special guest. There's plenty of food inside too, Rosa. Please help yourself. Thank you, sire. Rosa's coming. Yay! Now this is my first public performance, Rosa. I'm a bit nervous. What will I do if I make a mistake? Papa will be upset. You won't make a mistake, my chérie. As long as you put your heart into the keys. Play to touch your audience, and any mistake won't matter. Do you understand? Catherine stared at the marquise. Not really. You will someday. Just play your first song with me in your mind, will you? Something that you think will make me smile. He kissed her hand. It was covered with sticky sugar and breadcrumbs. Catherine blushed. It was the first time she looked embarrassed by anything. It would be my pleasure, sir. She sat down in front of the piano, admiring the cream and ebony keys underneath her fingers. Her own piano was broken and beaten. Her father had sold his horse for it. The A3 key never played, and the strings would creak when it was cold. But it had never failed her. She knew the keys like they were her own fingers. She whispered to the new piano softly, as if coaxing a beautiful, untamed animal. Let's be friends, okay? I saw Rosa at the far end of the podium watching her diligently. There was a renewed vigor in her blood. She could hear the keys calling out to her, a song that would make him smile. She placed her fingers on the keys. She began to play. I'm sorry about the car horn. At the ring of the first few notes, it became apparent to the audience that this girl was something special. Here was a little girl, barely tall enough to reach the pedals of the piano, playing as if she owned it. There were times she missed a note or two, but that didn't matter. She played the song to make someone smile, and it touched everyone present. Her musical skill was far beyond her years. Her fingers caressed the keys as if she was making a flower crown, carefully weaving the petals. She knew the correct way to tie the leaves so they wouldn't tear, like all smart little girls did. As the piano sang under her hands, Catherine seemed to disappear right in front of the audience's eyes. She was just a vision after all, somebody leading them down a dream dream of a garden, the springtime, the shade of a tree on a windy day. The couples in the audience tighten their grip on their hands of their partners. Some close their eyes and let the music saturate their soul. Sweet memories of youth, a first love, the yawn of a newborn. Rosa. So sorry, I've ruined everything. Rosa's eye shone as it stared at Catherine. Her heart was captured by this of a young girl swaying her head to the music, smiling as the notes poured out of her. She couldn't take her eye away from Catherine's glowing face. Was this happiness? Was this love? She looked like she was in love. And she was, wasn't she? In her innocence, she was still in love with life. In love with her family, with her pets, in love with every new discovery. She was full of hope. It was a bittersweet feeling for Rosa. Happy teardrop rolled down her cheek. She wanted to warm herself from that hope if she could. In the audience, Gwelmy and Catherine's father sat beside each other. Sire Perdide, your daughter is amazing. She is, isn't she? I don't know why I'm doing that voice. I mean, part of my arrogance, my liege. I'm a very proud father, you see. No pardon necessary, sire. Has she found a sponsor yet? The Duke of Versailles once spoke to me about it, but we haven't made any arrangements. Then I must steal her away as soon as possible. Sire, I'd like to be Catherine's primary sponsor, if that is all right with you. Why, sire, and to further cement my status, the piano she's playing right now, it is hers. I've bought it for her. Francois's eyes widened in astonishment. That is... Francois gulped. That is beyond generous, sire. Well, I must make it hard for you to refuse me, you see. I took the opportunity of asking you outright. You see, the Duke might offer an extravagant piano plated in gold. In that case, I have no choice but to humbly concede. What? I'm kidding. The Duke of Versailles is the worst monsieur you'll ever meet. Of course, I shall be paying for her musical tutoring as required, along with an ample stipend to accommodate your family. And you don't have to look so surprised, Monsieur Perdide. Your daughter is a star. There is an effervescence, I think that's how you pronounce that, about her, that enraptures the soul. There is no doubt in my mind that she will succeed. Thank you deeply, my liege. Please call me by my name, monsieur. Let me remind you, this generosity isn't without charge. Her tutoring will be done at my house. I want to monitor her progress. Red flag. Red flag. I'm getting another red flag again. Apart from that, I'd very much like Catherine to visit me and play from time to time. Big red flag. I'm calling a big red flag here.
Tomorrow. You've seen it, haven't you? She was mostly hostile, but sometimes when her sanity returned, she was afraid of this man. How well do you even know him, child? I've known him for as long as I knew Catherine, mother. He's a close friend. I didn't ask how long you've known him, but how well. Beyond that mask he displays in public view. Do you even know his past? Do you even know any of his ambitions or secrets? He was always a private man, mother. Think back, child. Isn't it curious how all his past relationships have ended in disaster? Everything he touches crumbles. That is not enough to accuse him of anything. You idiot. He's different. He does not belong. You felt it too, haven't you? Rosa wanted somebody to blame. I can ask for all her regrets. Rottmeier seemed like the perfect candidate, didn't he? Yes, you're finally seeing it. Open your eyes, child. It made sense. Guelmer and Catherine's relationship began to peter off into coldness right before she died. Her mental instability only served to compound the fracture in their relationship. Perhaps Guelmer was tired of her and had killed her off for convenience. Or perhaps Catherine, in her psychotic state, killed herself to spite him. He's not to be trusted. He's a demon. Alright, just look at that cool brooch. I don't know if that's a brooch. I know you must hate me, Rosa. I'm aware that I only aggravated Catherine's condition with my presence. I know the feeling when I'm not wanted. Just remember that I'll always be here for you. As much as I was there for Catherine, even though she spat me out. When Catherine had refused to eat, it had been Guelmer who fed her and attended to her. Despite Catherine's hurling abuse at him, he had tried to care for the sick woman himself. Lies, all lies. Keeping up appearances. Then what is it that he has done, Mother? Catherine committed suicide? It was not by his hand that she died. Are you going to leave it at that? Look at his face. Tell me you trust him wholeheartedly.
A few moments later.
I want this, Catherine straddled him, dipping her head and plunging her tongue deep into his mouth. She opened his shirt, nibbling on his ear as she did. She could feel his manhood alive on her thigh. She moved her hips. A distraught moan left his throat. She bit her lip coyly. It made her want to do more. The clench of his jaw, his aroused breath, the cord of his neck. They were her little trophies, her bliss. Catherine pulled his shirt free. She traced a finger down his bare stomach, keeping the rhythm on her hips. He opened his mouth, his eyes fluttering. She watched in ecstasy as he bit his lip. To know that he couldn't resist her made her swell with pride. Guelmer grinded with her. He began to answer her passion with his own energy. Guelmer sat up on the bed, finally reaching for her, finally giving it. It felt like victory to her. Guelmer grabbed her neck and pulled her face close to him. Her tongue bored deeply into her. Catherine pulled on his hair, surprised at his sudden intensity. Heat ran through her body. She savored his dominance. His lips ran down her neck to her chest. He sucked on her collarbone while working on the buttons of her blouse. He slipped the garment down with his teeth and kissed her bare skin experimentally. Every nerve felt tender. Every length of her skin felt raw. It was a reminder, an awareness that her flesh was a living thing. Oh my goodness. There was built-up tension as he squeezed her breast, planting soft, tiny kisses on its fullness. His hands hovered near her crotch. A stray finger would brush her sensitive spots almost innocently. It drove her mad. He was teasing her, studying her reactions with every touch. Catherine drew a short breath as Guelmer sucked on her nipple. His tongue played with it until it was hard and pert. Catherine felt like a melting candle, hot and ablaze, dripping, thawing in her own heat. Her heart began to pace in time with their kisses, growing steadily, heavier, beating loudly. From sweet affection to wanton lust. He whispered her name, and it sent a violent tremor through her skin. It would start in her torso, searching through her and startling the roots of her hair. Her throat made short, hurt sounds. She would usually stop here. An irksome apathy would take hold of her and she would stop. No, this wasn't like any other times. Catherine felt a hot throbbing at the pit of her stomach. A clench in her body wound her up tighter and tighter, putting her in danger of release. This was different. This was... Do you love me, Catherine? Guelmer, voice came out throaty and thick. Guelmer laid her down on the bed. Oh my god. Her fingers slipped easily inside of her. The sensation smoothed it like silk. She felt it moving around inside, pressing on her walls experimentally. It didn't take long for him to find her weakness. He was surprisingly, worryingly adept. Catherine squirmed. She didn't have time to marvel at his expertise. His left hand massaged her breath while the other tickled the lips of her opening. His little fingers petted her hole. Guelmer slipped down her shoulder.
She barely noticed him slipping another finger inside. When she did, her mind went white for a few seconds, a sharp breath, then a sigh. Her hips were moving on their own, while their tongues flickered and danced. Another heart seemed to beat and throb fiercely in her groin. Oh my god. She felt for him. She found his shaft stiff under his trousers. She squeezed his stiffness, eager for its girth. Cloth against flesh, soft against hard. Lips and teeth, spit and sweat. Their bodies began to rock together. Their breaths were hot and audible. Romer dug his tongue into the hollow of her neck. Catherine whined. The soft sounds returned. Okay. Okay. Do you love me? Oh God. Oh God, I love you. Okay. Fast, then she twitched and something snapped inside her. Her turtles curled and a squeal escaped through her nose. Catherine opened her eyes. She caught something alarming as she stared up at him. He didn't look like Gomer in the shadows. Unlit by candlelight, his features were the same. His eyes were in the same place, his nose and lips were in the same shape, but this man was a stranger. He did not care for her, like how a snake didn't care for its prey. For a brief second she was afraid. A tiny voice told her to run away, but that voice was washed away by a wave of carnal desire. The stranger grinned at Catherine. Mine. Faster now, deeper. His kisses went as if reaching for something inside of her. His weight on her body excited her, but it also felt like a prison. Run, rabbit! Run, rabbit, run! Her hands cruised south, kneading and clutching greedily. Her legs were draped around his waist. Force overtook her. Hunger. Here comes the farmer's gun. Oh my god. She tried to ignore the way her body moved on. Run, rabbit, run. Her hands found the clasp of his trousers and she undid them. Quickly now, quickly. She clutched his hardness, moving her hand up and down. Catherine's mouth salivated. He bit on her shoulder. Oh, I need a drink. Oh, God. She felt more of his teeth than it. Catherine scolded herself for being aroused. Her mounting terror only served to aggravate her urges. She wanted this. I want this. She was hungry. I am hungry. She heard the man snicker. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. He entered her without warning. Catherine gasped. The shiver was from both pleasure and fear. A dangerous mix, but it was cruel. There was no warmth, just cold, hard greed. And yet she couldn't help but want him. She pushed her hips to move with him. She wanted to please him. Slowly at first, savoring the warmth of this new territory, and faster keeping steady pace. Catherine's voice kept in time. Her breaths were high and hot. With every moment, Catherine felt her energy wither away. A heaty, nauseous feeling of malady was clawing at her. What was missing? What was taken away? I can name a couple of things that were taken away. Did you know what was gone until it was? This final scream of protest died in her mind. The last that was left of her lucidity. The urge to escape left no more reason to stop. Catherine moaned. Stop? No, I must not stop. Why didn't you even think that? What if he hate her? It was an agonizing thought. She had to give him more. His eyes observed her with a cold amusement. Catherine touched his chest in reverence. His eyes were cold, but his body was like fire. Whoa. What? Okay. When we start having sex angels, that is the cue for me to leave. Oh God, thank you for watching. What the hell? What the hell? I know what that sound is. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you for watching. I have to leave now. Goodbye.